This is Blender. I'm going to make a rocket in 10 minutes. Let's click General. I'm going to use this cube, so 3 for the X, 3 for the Y, and 5 for the Z. We want this to be more of an egg shape though to represent a rocket. So context modifiers, or just modifiers, subdivision surface, and then I need this to be 4 and this to be 4, more of an egg shape. Perfect. Now let's go into edit mode. This is why, you see how we can use the faces? That's why I left it as the cube and didn't add a sphere. Let's do a loop cut. Oh, maybe. Loop cut, click, and I need to increase this to 2. I am then going to use the face select mode to click on that, to click on the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the scale tool to scale it way down. I like it right at 0.05, 0.05, and 0.05. Perfect. And now let's pull it up a bit. And that's looking pretty good. I usually do 1.75 for that. Let's take a look at the bottom. So this is where the fire comes out. Let's go back to our face select mode. Click on this. I'm going to go ahead and scale it down a bit to 0.7, 0.7, and 0.7. Perfect. Now with that scaled down, we're going to do face, inset face, right around here. And 0.28 is good. And then let's do face, extrude faces, and I'm going to push in, and a negative 1.5 is awesome. Great. Now, I need to select to this edge. Whoops, got to be in edge mode for that. Select the edge. Let's go into selection mode. And then select loop, edge loop, and then we're going to edge bevel edges. And I'm just going to click, because I know 0.03 is great, and then I want 5 of these. And what this is going to do is harden up the sides of it to give it a better look, a more realistic one. Select edge, edge loop, edge, bevel edges, click, and let's do 0.02, and let's do 5 again. Perfect. All right, and now let's turn on that option. Let's turn on cage. Let me use the face select the center here. And what I want to do is go ahead and do face, inset faces, and just a bit, 0.11 should be good. And let me take a look here. Let's go ahead and do face, extrude faces, and pull down. And I usually just end up right around 3.25. Looks great. Okay, oops. With this face selected now, I do want to go ahead and use the scale tool. I'm going to scale it up a bit to 1.5 sounds good. Okay, and then I also want to loop cut this right about here. So it actually looks like a rocket. All right, now let's go back to face select. Let's turn off this guy and let's take a look here. We're going to click on this end here. We're going to do face, inset face, and yep, that's great. 0.15 is awesome. And then face, extrude faces, and down a bit. I'm going to do negative 1.25. And you can see how this is starting to look like our rocket. So awesome. We need to add some legs real quick. So I'm going to go into object mode. I'm going to go add mesh cube. Okay, and then let's see here. Let's put this at 5. Yep, that looks good. And let me go ahead and go to edit mode. Take a look at the side of this. I just want this side. I'm going to pull it out some. Yep, let's pull it out 0.7. That's great. Let's then go ahead and, whoops, object mode. I need to make sure to add a modifier here, subdivision surface, and 4, and 4. Now, back to edit mode, I need to face, extrude faces, and pull this out. Okay, and I pulled mine out. 2.25 is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and push it down, something like this. We'll do negative 1.25. Awesome. And then let's look down over here, grab this face, extrude face, pull it down, just like this. Okay, I'm going to do 6.5 should be sufficient. And then I am going to shrink the face of this. So going to the scale tool and I'm going to set this to 0.1, 0.1, and 0.1. Great. Actually, set Z to 0. It flattens it out. And then let's go ahead and pull this over something like that. Perfect. All right. Let's go to edit mode. Let me look at the top of this guy. Yeah, so this is obviously huge. So let's go ahead and change up this scale some. Let's get it into position. So I'm going to want it, -3 is fine, but look at this scale. Okay, so let's start doing that. Let's scale this 0.7 maybe, 0.7, and 0.6 up, and C 0.8, 0.6, 0.6. Let's take a look at what we got. That's looking better. So let's go ahead and move this. -2.5 maybe. And I actually want it in even more, so -2.8. That's looking better. Let's say right about there is looking good for that. Okay, now let me take a look at the top here. Yep, that's looking great. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to now add another modifier, and that modifier, actually first, object, set origin to 3D cursor, great. Modifier, mirror, and then I don't want X, I just need Y, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and apply that. I am then going to go to object, duplicate objects, and I'm going to click down right away. What I'll do here is I'm going to rotate this 90 on the Z axis, and boom, we have a rocket. Let's real quick add some color to it. So actually first I'm going to do a select all, object, shade smooth our object. Now let's add some color. I'm going to select my rocket, material, and I don't know, I'm going to have probably a purpley-ish rocket, sure. And let's go ahead and turn so we can see it. That's looking good. I don't want it to look, I want it nice and shiny. Let's do a 0.1, beautiful. Now for our bottom pieces here, I'm going to do a silver color for the base of this. Maybe something more like this for the base, right? And then I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to just do a X-ray mode and face mode. And now, I'll select all these top areas. Oh, got one of the lower ones. All these top areas. Yep. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a new color. New. And I'm going to make this a kind of purplish thing. And make this also 0.1 is great. And assign and click off. And then our base looks a bit more realistic. Okay, let's go back to object mode. I'm going to make my leg color really green like this. And the roughness can be 0.2. And then I'm going to apply this same thing to these legs. 0.2. And we have our rocket. If you're interested in creating a rocket with a bit more detail, a bit more features, I also have a tutorial on how to do that. If you're watching this, please hit subscribe, please hit like, it gives me warm fuzzies, it helps the world and all that stuff. So, ta-da, I hope you made an awesome rocket.